True to its shonen roots, Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't disappoint fans when it comes to showing us a bevy of sensational feats by way of its characters' cursed techniques. And honestly, these abilities don't just impress, they enrich Jujutsu Kaisen's entire lore, whether it's eye-popping, world-shattering powers, or the more subtle ones that provide mind-blowing implications of the JK universe. We're here to talk about the most powerful curse techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen. But before we begin, fair warning, heavy spoilers ahead for Jujutsu Kaisen's anime and manga. With that mentioned, let's dive right into today's video. In no particular order, here are the 12 most powerful curse techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 12. Supernova Choso. There's something inherently fearsome about the prospect of bloodbending, and Choso, the eldest Death Womb painting and Yuji Itadori's half-brother, has taken it to an extreme level. But what stands out with Choso is how he's able to mix the cringeworthy quality of blood manipulation with a heaping helping of creativity and elegance. You might immediately recognize his piercing blood curse technique as the half-human, half-cursed spirit's signature move, an ability that allows him to turn his own blood into a solid piercing arrow that homes in on its target. However, Choso's mastery of his innate blood manipulation abilities has also allowed him to develop Supernova, a curse technique that condenses drops of blood around him and then shoots it out at once like a hail of bullets. He literally makes it rain blood with his power. Whereas piercing blood allows him to take out one target at a time, Supernova is a quicker and more destructive curse technique in Choso's arsenal that can take out an entire horde of cursed spirits or turn a single opponent into Swiss cheese. Number 11. Miracle Haruta Shigemo. Haruta Shigemo, for lack of a better term, is a weasel. He's the kind of opportunist who always hides in the shadows, making sure that his opponent's defenseless before having his way with them. This effeminate psycho killer's pretty good at that job too, as he managed to sneak behind and take down a number of low-grade Jujutsu sorcerers during the Shibuya incident. Now, the main reason he's such a successful hyena in the JK universe is all thanks to his innate curse technique. Haruta is proof that not all powerful abilities in this universe need to be weapons of mass destruction, since his miracle ability allows him to store, well, statistically impossible events in the world and use it as armor. By armor, we mean all the miracles that Haruta stocks up within him manifest by allowing him to escape any danger, no matter how grave, scot-free. Basically, you can't kill Haruta as long as he has one of these miracles stored in him. Granted, it's got a gaping weakness. After all, Haruta can only store up to 6 miracles at a given time. Still, we fans can say that he's stronger than your average Jujutsu sorcerer, but about 3 lives short of a cat. Number 10. Jacob's Ladder Hanakurusu. To be completely honest, we were initially hesitant when Gege Akatami introduced Hanakuruso, particularly the ancient Jujutsu sorcerer inhabiting her body, the Angel, to the series. Thankfully, the Angel's backstory and Hanakuruso's portrayal of the series managed to assuage any doubt we had about the character. Plus, she's got one of the most game-changing curse techniques in the series, too. At its most basic form, Hana and the Angel have the power of extinguishment. It's an ability that allows them to render any curse technique, tool, or object useless, as well as exorcise any cursed spirit they use it on. At its most potent, Hana uses extinguishment to perform Jacob's Ladder, a cursed extension technique that allows her to call forth a literal sky beam from the sky that can exorcise or nullify everything caught in its blast. In fact, this curse technique has so much potential that Hana and the Angel can easily be regarded as a special grade curse user. Number 9. Cursed Corpse Technique Misamichi Yaga. Suffice it to say that we weren't exactly happy Jujutsu Kaisen decided to do away with Masamichi Yaga, aka the former principal of Jujutsu High's Tokyo campus and the preeminent expert on cursed corpse/puppet curse techniques. But we can say that we do understand Jujutsu Society's higher-ups' decision to assassinate Masamichi on the grounds of his curse technique's potential. You see, he's the only sorcerer in the world who has the potential ability to create an entire army of cursed corpses, dolls imbued with cursed energy, and sometimes possess their own souls and self-autonomy. Masamichi had already given life to Panda, an autonomous puppet and Jujutsu sorcerer in his own right, before meeting his untimely end at the hands of Kyoto campus principal Gakukanji. So, who's to say he couldn't have further developed his cursed corpse technique had he survived? Maybe he could have even brought a certain blue-eyed Jujutsu genius to life after the Shinjuku showdown. Hey, Jujutsu Kaisen knows how to turn our expectations over its head, if nothing else. Number 8. Mythical Beast Amber Hajime Kashimo. Jujutsu Kaisen's Culling Game arc introduced a slew of new formidable characters, and one of them is none other than the revived ancient Jujutsu sorcerer Hajime Kashimo. This 400-year-old curse user is a warrior in the most traditional sense of the word. He exists for two things: the thrill of the fight and proving his supremacy against other Jujutsu sorcerers, of which he's done a fantastic job. This is all thanks to the innate electrifying quality of his cursed energy, which imbues all his techniques with a deadly degree of zappiness to it. Used to its fullest potential, Hajime has the ability to perform his most powerful feat, Mythical Beast Amber. The way it works is that Mythical Beast Amber literally turns Hajime into an electric demigod. He becomes a being of pure lightning-like cursed energy the size of a kaiju. Of course, this transformation basically renders Hajime invulnerable to attacks, all the while providing him with an offense that can prove fatal even with a single touch. In fact, Mythical Beast Amber is so destructive that it's the same transformation that proves to be its own weakness. Hajime basically sheds off his physical body when he transforms, effectively killing him. As such, this is the kind of curse technique you use when you're looking for some good old-fashioned mutually assured destruction. Number 7. Judgment Hiromi Higuruma. One of the Culling Game's most pleasant surprises came in the form of Hiromi Higuruma's introduction to the series. He's a former defense attorney who's become disillusioned with Japan's judicial system. So, when his cursed technique awakened, Higuruma became JJK's very own version of the Punisher. But instead of using big guns, Higuruma delivers his own brand of justice using Judge-Man, a Shikigami he summons along with a courtroom-themed domain to determine the ultimate fate of their targets. Once Judge-Man manifests, Higuruma's opponent is put under trial within his domain, and if Judge-Man concludes that you're guilty, it can only go one of two ways. Either it and Higuruma cast Confiscation, which bars their opponent from using cursed energy and any techniques they can do with it, or Death Sentence, where Judge-Man hands Higuruma the Executioner's Sword, a blade made of cursed energy that can exorcise the soul of any target. Number 6. Cursed Spirit Manipulation Suguru Geto. There's a reason that Suguru Geto is considered a special grade sorcerer. In fact, we can even go as far as to say that he's the most versatile special grade curse user in all of JJK. Belonging to the rare class of curse users who can build literal armies to fight for them, Suguru Geto's cursed spirit manipulation technique has proven time and time again that he can terrorize Japan given enough prep time. Unlike Masamichi Yaga's cursed corpse technique, which involves constructing his own thralls from scratch, Geto's cursed spirit manipulation turns him into something akin to a Pokemon master by absorbing any number of cursed spirits, who each have their own abilities and attributes within his body. He can then summon these monsters at will. Making him even more dangerous is the fact that there's no cap to the number of cursed spirits he can store in his arsenal. In addition to that, Geto can absorb cursed spirits up to 2 power levels above him. To top that all off, there's Maximum Uzumaki, the ultimate form of cursed spirit manipulation that fuses all of the cursed spirits he's stored and turns them into a giant ball of cursed energy that he can hurl at his enemies. Number 5. CopyUTA Okotsu. Satoru Gojo claims that Yuta Okotsu is one of the young Jujutsu sorcerers who has the potential to surpass him. That is, if he hasn't done that already. Although Yuta might seem like an unassuming high schooler, he's actually one of the most powerful characters in the world of JJK. For one, it's a known fact within the series that he possesses at least twice the amount of cursed energy that Gojo has. For another, he can distribute and allocate his cursed energy between him and his own Shikigami, Rika, the Queen of Curses. But what really makes Yuta a one-of-a-kind Jujutsu sorcerer is his innate curse technique, Copy. As the name suggests, he has the ability to use any technique he finds out there in the wild. And we mean anything, even inherited or innate curse techniques that are supposed to be exclusive to any given Jujutsu clan or individual. Not only that, but Yuta's innately high cursed energy reserves allow him to improve on whatever ability he's copied, as shown when he copied Inumaki's cursed voice technique in the form of a megaphone that dispatched an entire horde of attacking cursed spirits in front of him. Number 4. Six Eyes Gojo Clan. Now, hear us out. We decided to include the Six Eyes technique here instead of the Gojo clan's famous Limitless curse technique for one reason alone: its compatibility with other abilities. Remember, Satoru Gojo didn't become the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer of the modern era because of Limitless alone. Sure, the control over space it affords its users is invaluable, whether it's Hollow Point Red's ability to repel or Hollow Point Purple's matter erasing potential. But as JJK lore states, only individuals who possess the Six Eyes have the capacity to unlock Limitless's full potential. Given that the latter is an absolute cursed energy glutton, even one use of even its most basic iteration, Infinity, can drain its user's energy reserves. Now, the Gojo clan's Six Eyes give its user the ability to manipulate their own cursed energy down to an atomic level, which ultimately results in a near-endless supply for whoever uses it. That's why Satoru doesn't break a sweat even when he uses otherwise strenuous techniques like Hollow Point Blue. In a hypothetical scenario where Jujutsu sorcerer possesses the Six Eyes but not the Limitless, they can still use whatever technique they know almost infinitely, thanks to the cursed energy efficiency it affords its user. That's why it made our list instead of its more sensational Gojo clan counterpart. Number 3. Cleave, Sukuna. If sheer brutality and raw power is what you're looking for, then Sukuna's innate curse techniques Dismantle and Cleave, respectively, will probably top that list. Generally speaking, Cleave is Dismantle's ultimate form that automatically adjusts its strength depending on the target, but the two techniques pretty much go hand in hand. True to his no-nonsense and malevolent nature, both Cleave and Dismantle can bisect any target that Sukuna has in his crosshairs. It's an unpredictable burst of sharp, guillotine-like cursed energy that almost always takes Sukuna's enemy by surprise. Number 2. 10 Shadows Technique, Zenin Clan. The Zenin clan's most coveted technique, the 10 Shadows technique, gives its user control over 10 different Shikigami, each with their own strengths and capabilities. As with the Gojo clan's Six Eyes and Limitless combo, the 10 Shadows technique manifests once every few generations within the family. And it's not like you can completely kill these Shikigami either. Every time one of these creatures die, their energy simply gets transferred to another one of the remaining 9 shadows the user has, which in turn creates a more powerful Chimera-like Shikigami. But the crown jewel of the 10 Shadows is the Shikigami known as Divine General Mahoraga. It's a giant humanoid creature that has the ability to adapt to any curse technique and destroy it. As far as current JJK lore is concerned, only Megumi Fushiguro and Sukuna, after possessing his body, are the known users of this dangerous curse technique. Speaking of the King of Curses, he's actually gained mastery of the 10 Shadows in such a short while that he was able to turn Satoru Gojo into filet mignon when he combined it with his Cleave technique. Number 1. Comedian, Fumihiko Takaba. If you were to ask us who in JJK has a curse technique that allows them to become as close to a god as possible, it's none other than Fumihiko Takaba and his comedian ability. In a nutshell, Comedian allows Fumihiko to create matter, in other words, entire realities, as long as he thinks it's funny. The only limit here is his imagination and self-esteem. As long as he thinks something is funny, he can manifest it and use it against his target. That means if, say, Fumihiko thought it would be funny for Sukuna or Satoru to simply die, he can do that. Plus, it's been shown in canon that Fumihiko's comedian technique can successfully defeat someone of Geto/Kenjaku's caliber. And remember, JJK often opts for brutal deaths whenever Gege Akutami writes off a character. Seeing as that wasn't the case when we last saw Fumihiko, we're inclined to think he's still alive in the JJK universe. What do you think is the most powerful curse techniques in Jujutsu Kaisen? No other Jujutsu abilities that didn't make our cut? Let's talk about it in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more amazing manga and anime content from our channel. See you guys soon.